Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Illuminated Feminine series. My name is Dr. Christina Tarantola. If we have not met, I'm so grateful to have you here with us today as I have a really special guest. And I'm so excited to share more about illuminating your feminine superpower, to introduce this beautiful soul. And I just can't wait to hear more about what she has to say. So welcome, Dr. Mariam. I'd like you to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more about how you're helping women.
Hi, thank you, Christina. I'm Mariam, Dr. Mariam Yanikian. I am a pharmacist currently, transitioning into coaching business for women specifically. I recently have, in the past 4 months, opened my new business. It's in budding stages. It's called Self-Love First. And it's all about empowering women to embody their feminine superpowers and amplify their abundance. And I will explain more what that means.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And her business cards came. They're beautiful. I'm so excited for this new coaching business. Oh, perfect. You have it right there.
Self-love first, yes.
It's beautiful. So tell us a little bit more about how you help women transform and more about these soul gifts. Like, what does that look like for a woman to unveil and to unleash her true soul gifts?
Right. So I think as women specifically, I see women as, like super women, super powerful, because we do so much. We become mothers. We have responsibilities towards our families. But also are very high achievers. We go for our careers. And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And along the way, somehow I feel that we forget how powerful we are, that we are, our children see us that way. They see us as like super models, super powerful, but somehow we end up at the bottom of the list and we don't see ourselves that way. And it leads to, anxiety, depression, fatigue, and all this overwhelming symptoms that a lot of women struggle with. So what I'm trying to do is help women see, change that, like shift that, and see themselves own their superpowers, like embody that highest self that you have in your mind. And it's different things for different people. For someone, let's say, who's struggling with self-esteem, it could be just being more self-confident. For me, I'm still on that journey, and I think all of us are. It was to become a business owner, and how to go about it, I did not know, but I reached out for help. I made that choice, that conscious choice to invest in myself and my business, and that's where I am. That's where it led me to. Yeah.
Beautiful. And I love your personal story, because as a current pharmacist, I can definitely, relate to the whole pharmacy part and just working 12-hour shifts. Yes. And also wanting to spend time with your family. So tell us a little bit more about your personal story and what your superpower is.
Right. So for me, I'm still struggling. I'm a full-time pharmacist and a full-time mom, a full-time wife, and I find myself overworked, tired all the time. I mean, we do at least 12-hour shifts as pharmacists with no breaks, really. Yeah. And it really takes a toll on you. I mean, you've been there. Every pharmacist that, has worked that knows what I'm talking about. It's very draining. And at the end of the day, I mean, even when you come home, you don't have the energy to spend it for your kids, for your family. And I don't know. I think it shouldn't be this way. There's an easier way. Like, and and a lot of, like, I used to work part-time for at least 5 years, and after I had my second child, and that was a great balance, actually. But there are not enough part-time opportunities out there for pharmacists, or for most women, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
whenever you saw my video, actually, that's when it all clicked for you. So
yes,
this is something that I want to identify for people out there. You might be saying, all right, well, like, how do I know what the right path is? I always tell people, especially women, we're very intuitive. You'll have a gut feeling. Miriam actually found me through another pharmacist podcast series. And she saw me speak about my business, and she was like, oh my God, I've been wanting to do that. And that's how all of this evolved. So if you're out there and you're saying, I don't know how or when is this going to hit me, or how am I going to know? You will know whenever you feel that pull, like, ooh, yes, like that's what I really love.
Right. If any of this, makes sense to you, if you're resonating, you have the similar feelings about being overworked, and also kind of losing yourself along the way, like having children, we have so many blessings that are supposed to make you joyful, and feel blessed, but we don't, because we are too busy doing other things, like making enough money and all these responsibilities. But I do want to talk about how I found you. So for years, I love being a pharmacist, but I also felt like there is something more I wanted to do, like make a bigger impact somehow, and I just didn't know how. Like, it was just in the back of my head, like, oh, maybe, I want to write a book somehow. I want to write about this journey, but like I could never start. Or I wanted to, organize events, and like retreats, and I did a couple of small ones, but I wanted to do it in a bigger way, because there's so many women like me that could be my friends, or colleagues that reach out, that have similar situations. And so when I heard that podcast, it was and it was about pharmacist alternative careers for pharmacists, and I'm like,
you're like, ding, ding, ding.
like, there's something else I could be doing. And then when I saw you talk about, how you empower women, you do all these things, and I'm like, yeah, a big light bulb went on. Literally, I got chills, and I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what I should be doing. This is like God showing me, like, I've told you this before. It's like a mirror in front of my face saying, this it can be done. People do take those steps, and they do reach for their dreams and make their own rules, and make invest in themselves. So yeah, I want to do the same, and I want to empower other women to take those steps.
Absolutely. And just to backtrack a little bit too, what you were talking about with the symptoms of anxiety, depression. So I always tell people, you can gauge if you're in alignment with your soul purpose based on how you feel every day. And of course, there's all different factors, but what you said made so much sense, because when you're feeling out of alignment, and I've heard this from so many of my clients and the women that I talk to, is that there's this underlying level of anxiety, like, you're supposed to be doing something else. And that's really, your emotions can be your gauge for, am I in alignment with my soul's purpose, or am I a little bit off track and I need some support? Which is, I love the fact that you brought that up, because that's how you can tell.
Yes.
And what kind of life you're living, how you feel every day.
A lot of women, healthy women, just come up to me like they have constant migraines, and they don't have any, etiology for it. It's just, usually it's a symptom of, I think, not, like you said, not being aligned, not doing your soul work, not being fulfilled the way you should be. And every one of us deserves to be, to do what we love, and to take those steps. So yes, a lot of times anxiety is a big one. Where, everybody, has had anxiety. It's almost like a daily norm, and it shouldn't be. And there's so many ways, techniques to actually, get the root, find out the source of it, and let it go, release it somehow. And we would do that along, like we have done with Quantum Queen program.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit more. So I love that you tied that in. So the anxiety, what are some of the techniques that you help or that you use in your program, your signature program, that you would help women with?
So I want, I incorporate a lot of energy work too. I've been doing a lot of research, as you have, I think, with Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. Like releasing that stuck energy that is in the lower, 3 centers.
Yep.
And that's where we hold all that guilt, shame, and that, lower energy emotions, anxiety, depression. And it's powerful work. A lot of it is breath work that I'm actually working on incorporating right now. And, simple things, even the tapping, exercise, tapping the meridian points. I've tried it myself. It's instantly, it works. It takes practice, and guidance, but these things are amazingly powerful.
Absolutely.
And a lot of time, they don't teach you this in pharmacy school or medical school. It's all kind of alternative ways. And I'll also touch upon a little bit about how, we're pharmacists, but, we learn about medications, how to treat with medications. But I feel like medication is helpful. It's great when you need it, but it's more like, I have that Band-Aid analogy. It's more
Exactly.
like a Band-Aid, like it will treat your symptoms that moment, yes, but it will not treat the source of the problem. Your symptoms will come back as soon as you stop taking that medication, and they do, right? So I'm looking at the source, treating the source, and releasing it that way.
Absolutely. And I feel like too, it's not, we talk about tapping and all of these other releasing techniques, and it's not that we're suppressing or making it go away. You're actually alchemizing it so that you can use that energy for creation, for your intuition. So that's exactly, what Joe Dispenza talks about.
Right. And that's what I feel like has happened to me through this transformation work. And I'm thankful to you for sharing it and bringing it to light, because it's very powerful. It's energy transforming, like this lower energy is transforming into this higher energy.
Yes.
And being, like it's a process of releasing, and it's very much healing. Like I have I've researched a lot. Like I have tried other things, but nothing has worked this quickly and this completely for me. So I'm very passionate about that. And I do want to share that with other women.
And I love the fact that I see what I just got through my intuition was like a flame in igniting another flame. So I ignited you, you're igniting all of these other people, and that's how we create change.
Right.
So it's incredible to see that. So just kind of in the same vein, hiring a coach. So for you, like, what do you feel like the typical fears are that come up around hiring a coach?
Right. So this was very new to me as well 4 months ago, when I saw you and approached you, via Facebook. I was so drawn to it, right? I'm like, this is, in my gut, I felt this is exactly what I need, and I should not be putting it off. So, but even as strong as that desire was, and that clarity was for me, still that fear came up, that guilt comes up, how dare you invest in yourself, because we are not taught that, and we are actually taught to feel guilty about, when we put ourselves first, right? So guilt was a big thing for me. And then once you sort of realize it, and it's very much subconscious, you don't, and I think you brought that out for me, like the first week. And it's like, I'm like, yes, I did quite honestly felt very guilty spending the money for myself. But once you realize that and sort of identify it, you can work with it, you can release it, and you could say, well, I do need this, I do deserve this, the outcomes are so worth it, and they are. Yeah.
And so I feel like, tying into all of this, sometimes it's even though you're the one, investing in yourself, it's also about, sometimes people have blocks around receiving the help, right? So
Yes.
receiving support is like a big, like, so a lot of women who are, have always done, which for me, I really identified with that big time, always did things myself. I was like, I don't need anybody. Like, I got this, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
no, you really do need someone to help you.
This is very important because we, as you know, and I'm guilty of this too. We're go-getters, like this generation of women that we're like, yeah, I want it all. I want the family, I want the career, I can do it all. But there comes a point where first of all, you shouldn't do it all. Every successful person knows that you need support, you need coaching, you need almost like a team,
Yeah.
and I've become comfortable with that, like hiring a person to do something for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, it could be as simple as hiring a house cleaner, right? A lot of us have guilt around that, but it's the same kind of thing when you need help, which you will, because you are striving, out of your comfort zone. You're reaching out for that, into the unknown, right? And it makes perfect sense to me now. But you need someone who's done it before. And you need someone who can actually say, it's okay what you're feeling. The fears are normal. It's your subconscious trying to protect you because you're stepping into the unknown. It's actually, a self-defense kind of a mechanism. And it's powerful thing, because a lot of us, once we hit that wall, that fear, that guilt, we just will step back. We'll be like, no way I'm doing this. No way, I can spend on myself, or, we just sort of step back into our comfort zone and we just continue our daily routine. So, yeah.
And I feel like too, it's also like a lot of people, there's like a lack of trust that, okay, if I spend this money, I don't know where their mind, sometimes people get scared, like, oh my gosh, I don't have the money or whatever it is.
Right.
And so sometimes, or maybe they don't believe in themselves enough to invest in themselves, or they're afraid of failure. And all of these things, like you said, are natural.
Yes.
And they come up because the subconscious is like, oh, wait, the last time that you did this, XYZ happened. So it's very subtle. And that's why even more so having a coach, that person knows, okay, I see what's operating here, and they can help pull you into that higher self that you talk about.
Right.
So
that was great help, because, just trusting that this is normal. And that person has been through it before and they've become successful doing it, but only because I think they did reach out for the help. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but subconsciously, I mean, we do have those blocks, those fears. I mean, I do. I still do myself.
Yeah, all of us do. Yeah.
It just becomes, once you take that first step, though, it becomes easier. You're like, you kind of unleash that power, that, queen, like you talk about, that quantum queen comes out, and like, yeah, of course I want to do this. Of course. Yeah. And that's exactly, where you want to be. You want to own that power. You want to be, feel it and use it somehow. And great results come out. I mean, incredible come out.
I posted something on Facebook the other day and it got 6 shares, I think. And it was something around like, you're never going to feel ready, or like it's 100% comfortable, or there's no fear, but you make the decision and it's done.
And it's very much a conscious choice to put yourself first, to, value yourself and your business. For me, it was a business, that I was investing into, not just for fun, for myself. And I looked at it that way too. It's a business training, and very much was. For other people, it could be different things. A lot of people struggle with, anxiety, fatigue, weight issues, addiction issues, whatever it is. It's different struggles and different goals that we want to achieve, but the fears are the same. Fear of failure, feel of, like self worth and self-esteem. All these issues are the same at the core, and the techniques to release them, are also, they also work universally, I feel, because we never really go into too much into like personal stories and personal traumas. We just share our feelings, and like I said, those feelings are the same. It's usually guilt, fear,
Universal. Yep.
yeah, and yeah.
Yeah, you totally hit the mark on that for sure. So and you've grown tremendously in the past 4 months. Nariam just completed the Quantum Queen Transformation Program, and it's been amazing to see your gifts get activated. So tell us a little bit about that experience. What have you seen? I think you mentioned your husband has seen changes in you as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's amazing. So we do a lot of meditation with this transformational work, almost like weekly, and that will be a big part of my program too. And it's all about sort of taking that time to talk time for introspection, to sort of go inside, and see what you really need, what you really want, what those steps are for you. And a lot of times, when you tap into yourself and try to get aligned, with your soul, what your soul needs, what your soul wants, incredible things happen. You actually, like, as a side effect, you start feeling joy and feel blessed, and you start taking steps that are serving you and release those things that are no longer needed. And
Exactly.
a lot of it is all those negative emotions. All of a sudden, I've been telling my friends, I used to drink 2 cups of coffee in the morning just to wake up in the morning. That's how fatigued we feel, right? And now, because of all this energy work, all this, like I said, taking that time for myself, okay, 1 cup. Sometimes I don't even need a cup of coffee, and I never thought I would feel that energized. I really didn't. And you just start taking the small little steps, but it's all in the right direction towards this positive change, and you become your true self, really. I think
and you're more aligned. Like you said, it's a side effect of the work that you do. And, I feel like we're talking in pharmacy terms like side effects, symptoms, and all this, but it's all so related, because I believe that everything is first energy and then it becomes physical. So if somebody's experiencing anxiety or depression or whatever, there's usually something underneath or something internal that's running, like you said, in the subconscious, that's creating this physical symptom. So it's when we go to that root and we can see the belief structures, the subconscious blueprint, all of these other factors, that's when you can actually liberate that energy and help yourself heal. So it's amazing.
And the thing is that a lot of people don't think of it that way. All they know is the end result of fatigue, anxiety, migraines, insomnia. They come to you and they're like, okay, I'm taking this medication. And my favorite question is, why are you taking this? And incredible stories come out, why they're, let's say, suffering from anxiety, why they can't sleep at night, why they have constant migraines. So we don't take that time to figure out the source and treat the source of the problem. We just go straight to the end, okay, take this.
Pop an Advil.
Which works temporarily, but I mean, you'll just have to do that the rest of your life if you don't really treat the source of the problem. So that's for me is big. Yeah.
That's great. I love what you shared today. So in closing, what advice would you have for a woman pharmacist who is looking to, she's watching this video, maybe she's someone like you watching my video with Alex Barker.
Right.
Like, oh my God, like, yes, I want to do that. But like all these fears are coming up. Like, what would you tell that person?
I would tell them that follow your intuition. Your gut feelings are God-given intuition. Those are signs. Follow those signs. Trust your gut, and hire a coach. Seek people that have done it before. Put yourself first. You're worth it. You deserve to live your best life. Dream bigger. It's okay to dream again and change your plans you know. And one of the things for me, after having children and, having a successful pharmacy career, my standards have changed. Raise your standards. 12-hour shifts that were okay, when in your 20s are not okay in your 40s when you have
Yeah.
2 kids at home. Because my most valuable thing for me is time at home right now, spending with them, giving them the nourishment they need, because these days will not come back for them, for us. So yeah, my advice is to go for it. You'll find incredible
Yes. And
results.
that's what you did, and you're still doing it.
Yes, I'm still doing it, and it's one of the most rewarding things I've done so far.
No, I'm so proud of you, and just continued success. Thank you so much. Do you have any last words for our guests, or how they can find you?
So I'm in Facebook, Miriam Yanigyan. Also, I have a business Facebook page at My Self Love First, or just Self Love First. And those words, I think, say it all. Yeah, reach out to me, direct message me. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to, reach back.
Awesome. Yeah. And as you can see, she's very friendly and open. So
Yes.
you're going to get a great response. All right. Well, I will see you guys on the next Sacred Illumination series. And thank you so much, Dr. Miriam.
Thank you, Dr. Christina. Thank you for the opportunity and everything you do. It's amazing work.
Thank you. I'll see you next time, everybody.
Bye.